What's up, everybody? Reseller struggles here, and I thought I'd come on and do a quick video and just talk about why do people resell, or specifically why do I resell. I'm an eBay seller, and I just started on Amazon, but mainly I resell, I think, for freedom, because at this point it's surely not for money. Um, I want it to be for money. I want to make more money. At this point in the reselling game, it's not about the money because the money is not there. um, I'm making enough to get by and put money in the bank every month, but I'm not making this crazy money like you see people on YouTube. The Talking about selling your courses and all that, talking about how to make a pile of money reselling. I'm not seeing that. But as far as the freedom aspect of it, that's really what keeps me in the game. Um, I remember the last job I had it for about 6 years, making decent money, doing mechanic and stuff at a factory. And in the beginning, I enjoyed it. And then we had a change of management at the factory, and things just kind of went downhill from there. And towards the end, the alarm would go off at 4:30 in the morning, and I literally wanted to cry. Um, Getting out of that bed was the last thing I wanted to do, to go in there. And that's really what pushed me to say, if you're going to do something, you got to do it now, because the money that you're making is just not worth um, the sadness that you feel having to go in to that place every day, and it's just not worth it. In America, we put such a value on the money that you make, and your happiness is supposed to come from the money that you make. But it's just not sustainable. And at a certain point, no amount of money that you make is worth the amount of sadness or frustration that you feel. If you're making $1 million a year, you can put up with a hell of a lot, but um, making an average salary is just not worth it. And so when I realized that, I knew that I had to go out and do something on my own. I've done things on my own in the past, and they didn't work out. I failed. I failed, big deal. Um, so if that's something that appeals to you, not failing but doing things on your own, and maybe you're reselling part time now and want to do it full time, I encourage you to give it a shot. I've been watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk lately, talking about entrepreneurship and business. And one of the things that he talks about, even though he's a multimillionaire and fabulously rich, is about happiness and defining what's important for you in life. Is getting rich, is that what's going to define your happiness? If so, then go ahead and get rich. If getting up every day and enjoying what you do, looking forward to getting up every day, if that is going to be what you define happiness as, then you need to pursue that. And I enjoy getting up every day. I enjoy opening up the screen and seeing what I sold overnight. I enjoy hearing the little cha-ching when it comes over the telephone. Finding stuff out, picking and roaming around excites me. Being able to put something into the hands of somebody that wants it or needs it, I enjoy that, bringing that value to people. Hopefully I can bring some value to people on YouTube through this channel. If I ever get any viewers to start watching it, it's frustrating in the beginning of YouTube because nobody knows you exist and you make videos and nobody watches them. But I'm going to keep on with this, and hopefully it'll catch on. But if you're thinking about reselling full time, I encourage you to take the plunge. Don't just jump into it, quit your job without having a plan. When I started, I planned for probably about 18 months once I'd made the decision that I wanted to try to do something on my own, to get my car paid off, get everything paid off that I could get paid off, and to start making a war chest or a backup bank account, so that if things just totally fell apart, that I would not starve to death and I would not lose my house. So you have to plan for it, and don't just go off half cocked, but do it. Make it happen. You never know what's going to happen. When I first started, I was buying storage unit auctions, and I had a physical store, and I ended up not really going bankrupt, but I ended up throwing in the towel for a lot of different reasons. Health was one of them. I was never able to grow the business where I had an employee that sat at the store for me, and while I went out and bought units and brought them back and did all the prep and all that. But I was never able to grow it to a point where I was able to hire someone to help me do all the physical labor. And thus, being in my late 40s or middle 40s at that time, I just could not physically handle it. If you've ever bought a unit, you know that the physical labor that's involved in transporting and moving all that stuff. And doing it for 2 years, it just flat wore me out. My back was just killing me every day. And it had beat me down to the point where I couldn't psychologically keep doing it. It was going to drive me out the wall. And not making any money, really, just barely scraping by every month after paying all the bills. So I got out of that, and I had been doing eBay at the time, building the store. And so I said, hey, let's see if we can make this eBay thing work full time. And so I started plugging away at that, making that a full-time job. And so far it's done well. I'm almost to the point where I'm bringing in as much money, paycheck wise, call it a paycheck, but my net profits at the end of the month. I'm almost to where I was at when I was working my factory job. I have no benefits. That's the kicker to this. I have no health insurance. I've been 5 years with no health insurance. Knock on wood. Luckily, things have been okay. But I have no 401k, anything like that. So that's something you're going to have to plan around. But if reselling speaks to you and you really want to do something that you enjoy, don't let the fear stop you. Plan it out. Take your time, build up an emergency fund where you're able to do it safely, but take the risk. Nothing in life really comes unless you take some risk to do it. 'Cause nothing in life is easy, but a 9 to 5 is stable, but if it's driving you up the wall and making you lose your sanity to do it, that stability is not really worth it, in my opinion. I don't want this to go on too long, but leave me some comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel. I need some subs. I need to grow this channel, so please like and subscribe and leave me some comments and tell me, are you thinking about going out on your own? If you are, what's stopping you? What are your fears? What are your concerns? What are the benefits that you see that interest you? And let's have a conversation. So thanks for watching.